Welcome to the Confused Fantasy Football Show. It's number 3, and you look ridiculous.
I was being a mannequin. I was being a mannequin with a mask on.
You're still doing that bit?
Dude, listen, the mask makes my head look smaller.
Nothing makes your head look smaller.
Oh, nothing.
That's not possible.
It's a massive
That's
gradient.
not possible. This is show number 3 for us, and we topped 1 million views again last week. So
Can you
luckily,
believe that we've got
oh my gosh,
we already
the
got 3 shows?
sponsorships are just rolling in.
Oh.
They're coming in like crazy. And speaking of sponsor, go
Yeah,
ahead.
we've got a great sponsor this week. All of our sponsors are great, but another great one, and it's Phil Hauer. Feel the power. The power. And you know what I love about Phil Hauer, Feel the Power, is their slogan. And it says this: people don't like you now, but they will like the new you. And that's a true statement for all of you guys watching it, especially for our special guest who will be joining us at some point, is people don't like you guys now. But they might.
They could. It can only go up, right? It can only go up.
That's
all right,
the
so
power.
you're going to go to Phil Hauer's Feel the Power for all your herbal and supplemental needs. And so this is the place where you're going to hit up essential oils, CBD, which I don't even know what that means.
I don't either.
HGH, I think they made that legal, right? So that's on here.
I'm always confused by CBD. It's so confusing.
I think it's so confusing. Baby oil, Jordan.
Oh.
If you are a big purchaser in bulk,
Only-
you can buy
only
baby
the
oil
finest.
in bulk. And also peyote. So Bork, we know how you're into peyote, and we know you have like a good pipeline. This is the place that you're going to come to get all of
Do you
those
remember that
things.
movie Young Guns?
Yes.
And they drink the peyote and they go through that's Phil Hauer, Feel the Power right there for you, right there.
We're in the spirit world now, JVS.
Is that an offensive movie? Are we? Is that show canceled? Is that movie canceled?
No, I think it's good.
Okay, there we go.
I think
we're
it's
still good.
Also, personal training. And so
Man.
they'll help you become a slightly better version of yourself.
I mean, we say slightly because there's not a lot of helping you guys. There's just not a lot of helping.
And because it's not very good personal training.
It's the worst.
It's
the
but if
worst.
you want to get incrementally like a little bit better,
A little bit.
this is your place to go.
I did sign up for their cookies and cream program. It's
made
made me
me
the man.
creations.
It's made me the man I am today.
Put in the veins. Let's go. All right. Hey, we've got our totally relevant topic of the week coming up in just a second. But before we get to that, we have a very special guest with us.
Man.
It is Mr. Matthew Borkowski. Come on in the house. Oh, he's coming in front of the camera. I like
I
it.
thought you were gonna jump.
I like
I
it.
thought you said you were gonna like run up and jump over.
Yeah, not gonna risk it.
We immediately just got a lot better looking, but also dumber. So I don't know if you should take this or just go the opposite way of whatever Bork says during this time.
Hey, what does it feel like to be our first special guest? Like
Yeah.
the first.
Hanson
you're
jumped
the
in,
first.
but he wasn't invited.
No. He just crashed it. And that's Hanson.
Yeah, that's
Hanson
like.
like.
I'm here. Look at
I
me.
think, I think special guest is the wrong term.
What
I
is
feel
it?
like this is now episode number 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you might be right.
The other two, the quality of the the knowledge
Like
was
this?
so bad
No.
that now we're
without
a
a
show.
doubt. We're
Now
show
you're a
now.
show.
Now we're
What are you talking about? We're all about the numbers
Yeah.
here.
Well, a million
Hard-hitting
views per.
fantasy analysis.
A million
Yes.
views per, right? And we had like, I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but we had other unofficial sponsors putting in the comment section like little
No.
links.
Ooh, I don't know how that got in there.
Me
Yeah.
neither.
I thought you were going to say like mentor. I thought you said not the special guest, but the mentor. You're going to like teach us all how to do this?
It's more of like a big brother relationship,
Okay.
less of a
Yeah.
mentor.
Yeah,
Like,
you are much
let
older
me
than us.
show you how to not be so dumb.
Oh man, that's a hard one too, because
Yeah.
we got this guy over here
Who?
on this
Who?
show.
Where?
That's almost Mission Impossible.
All right,
folks.
we do have a couple questions for Borg before we get into the totally relevant topic.
Yep.
My first question is, and this is a serious one, okay? What is your prediction for carry on season this year? Because he's your boy. You traded
Rep
for
your shirt.
him.
Rep your shirt right there,
You
right?
got your shirt on. What is your prediction for his? Give me some numbers.
Some numbers. I think he'll have probably about 150 carries.
Okay. That's
I think
Not
he
bad.
and Swift will probably have legitimate similar numbers of carries.
Okay.
Assuming
50-50.
Yes.
50-50.
Assuming he doesn't break his leg in the second game of the
he
season.
probably will.
But I think that he will actually catch more passes this year than last year.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
I think they both are good at both positions. Swift is better, but I do think that they'll play 2 back sets, and I think that Carrion will get a lot of receptions. All that to be said, he's not going to be better than a running back 3 because he probably will have very few touchdowns.
So you don't even think an RB2? You think an RB3? Huh?
You guys having a moment
I
here?
like
You
it.
want me to
No.
leave, or you
Yeah.
guys are just looking at each
Yes.
other?
I am.
How many yards do you think rushing? Give me a What is your rushing prediction?
850.
850. Okay.
Yep.
Touchdown prediction?
5.
5. Okay.
So wait.
That's
What do you think
tempered.
Swift's going to do? You think Swift's going to have 852 and 5? Making
I-
a 1,710 touchdown RB? Is that what
No,
you're
it's
trying
totally
to play there?
reasonable. It's totally reasonable.
I think Swift will have. I think he'll go over 1,000 total yards
Oh, wow.
this year.
Okay.
But I don't think either of them will have very high touchdowns, just based upon
So you're going to try to get Swift.
if the price is right.
Okay.
Yeah, you are. You're just
All
trying to own that whole backfield. That whole backfield. That's
Really,
good.
really, I just want every piece of the Lions offense.
I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Who wouldn't want a piece of that?
All right, you got their second question? for
Yeah,
him,
yeah, I
real
do.
quick?
Hey, and this is big, right? So, do you think there's going to be an NFL season?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Why do you think there's going to be a season?
I think partly because baseball and basketball are going first.
Okay.
I do think that there's lessons that the NFL will learn, and I do think that there's too much money to be made, not just by the owners, but also by the players.
Yeah.
In that regard, that giving up a full season for the players, especially running backs, is such a large percentage of their career
Yeah.
that it's probably just too big of a risk.
I agree, man. What do you think, Brandon?
Heck yes. I think it's on time. Listen, I've been talking to my sources. I have sources.
Yeah. That must be
Shefty,
where our million views are coming from.
Roger Goodell, NFLPA, like all those people, and Mike McCoy. They've all been messaging me.
Mike McCoy.
They've all been messaging me, and they say it's good to go.
It's
so
all these
heck
reporters,
yes.
and then it's a defensive coordinator. I like it. It's
No,
good
he's
sources.
offense. He's offense, isn't he?
No.
Yeah, Stevens? Oh, he's so bad at offense. It's just
Oh,
okay.
wait. Maybe he is.
Yeah, who knows? Hard hitting analysis right here. But no, I think their span, like 3 to 5 years that a player has to actually play, they got to get in there. They got to get their money. They got to do those things. So I don't know. I mean, we'll see a lot from this negotiations, but it's starting on time. I believe it. Forget you, Jordan.
Man, we need it. Jordan, don't speak speak bad things into existence.
Agreed.
Don't do it.
All right, last question, and then we'll jump in real quick. Hey, and this is serious, so try to be as serious as you can about this. Why are you so bad at trading with anyone other than me?
It was intentional. And this comes because
Can you recap some of your trades for us real
No.
fast?
Yeah, Ingram, carry on. You used to have Mark Ingram on your team.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
first year on the season, I performed as expected, and everyone was calling me the fantasy warlord. They're like, "Don't trade."
Oh, I
with,
thought you were saying you had
don't-
the first season.
No, my first season in the league. Everyone
Yeah, no,
was
I remember.
threatening
Yeah.
to boycott trading with me. So I just said, look, I have to
Decimate your team.
invest in poor trades
There you go.
to
keep trading going.
ensure, yes, to ensure that I can
Yeah.
enjoy being in this league.
You've done a good job.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean,
we're keeping you around for a long time.
you
You're just
are
making that
set.
money off of Bork. It's great.
You are set.
It's great. Okay. All right. So go ahead, introduce for our millions and millions of viewers at home our totally relevant topic of the week.
Do an Arnold Schwarzenegger voice.
No, don't.
Today,
Yes.
we are bringing you breakout potentials for the NFC conference.
NFC. Okay, so
division.
Yep.
Division by division. I'll kick us off. So Bork, why don't you share with us your NFC South division breakout? Here's the rules. They had to be $10 or below in auction value, and it could not be a rookie. Did I leave
Yep.
off anything else?
$10, below $10,
Yep.
not a rookie.
Yes.
And breakouts.
And a breakout. So Bork, who do you got for the NFC South?
NFC South, I'm going with Ronald Jones, the third.
Isn't he on your team? I mean, is that a coincidence?
I don't
Are you-
have a single breakout on my team, so I feel like maybe that's bad for me. Maybe I don't have a very good team.
You
No,
don't.
go ahead.
You
Why
don't.
Rojo?
As the leader in talent evaluation of
Okay.
our league,
Yeah.
it makes sense that I
Yeah.
would have good players on my team.
That's true. That's true.
And the biggest reason is last year he took over the starting job in the third week. And from there on out, he was an average RB2.
Yeah.
Not something to be really excited about.
No, I get excited about average
but-
RB2s.
But given that team,
Stiff
gi-
competition too.
given that team,
Oh man, there's so many people vying
There's
for
a
it.
barber?
Yeah, Peyton Barber's still there.
I mean, obviously he's the best because he beat out Peyton Barber.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, he
totally,
is the best.
totally.
You beat out Peyton Barber, you're a breakout the next year.
But they didn't run the ball very much at all.
Yeah.
Winston threw the ball more than anyone else in the league.
Yeah.
And with Brady coming in and the defense improving a little bit, I think they're going to run the ball a lot more. And Arians,
Peyton? Did you
Well,
forget that?
Arians made him a starter over Barber.
Okay.
So he obviously
Okay.
loves
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stiff
But
competition.
to that point, Arians doesn't trust running backs quickly.
Yeah.
He
that's true.
took a long
Yeah.
time to get David Johnson started. I think that in this case, he might end up losing the job at some point to Vaughn.
Yep.
But if so, it'll be very late in the season. And I think they're going to throw the ball a lot more to the running backs this year with Brady there. So that being said, I think he's got an opportunity to be a high-end RB2 for not very much money. $6 current draft cost.
Well, that's your boy. Brandon, who do you got?
I've got Cam Newton. He's still, he's still in the NFC South, right?
That's a good pick,
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
man.
No, I actually have Curtis Samuel, and here's the reason. Joe Brady's a little bit more creative with his offense. North Turner's like, hey, let's just get this workhorse back in there and just run the ball with him a ton, which CMC is obviously very talented. Look, Teddy Bridgewater is an average to possibly above average a little bit, not much.
Yeah.
He's not a very good quarterback is essentially what I'm saying. Like, he's not a great
You're
quarterback.
saying he's
They're
not
going to have
star.
to find weapons. They're going to have to spread it out short yardage. He's that guy that if you get him in space, he can make things happen. And so we've kind of been waiting on this for a long time with Curtis Samuel, but I think this is the year where, I mean, at $2 or whatever he was, he definitely pays off this year.
It's quick hit.
I think he's on your team too, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean,
Man,
Yeah.
you have
Wow.
all the
Wow.
breakout players.
Yeah.
You don't think Robbie Anderson's gonna affect Curtis? No, me neither, man.
I really don't. I just
Me
think
neither.
it's just different position. I think they'll use him as a gadget player.
Yeah.
I just think they'll be smarter on offense. Not that North Turner's but he's just kind of straight ahead, right? And so I
Yeah.
think they'll do more gadget things, a couple of different things. I just think it'll be interesting to see him, but Curtis Samuel.
They'll be the best.
I do think he'll cut into DJ Moore, though, this year.
Okay, all right. We're gonna have to check out about that. That'll be good later on when we get to Justin's team. We'll talk about DJ Moore. We have some hot
Yep.
takes on that. Before we get to the NFC West, and Brandon, I'm gonna come right back to you on that
Yep.
one. Mine is Hayden Hurst. Mine is Hayden Hurst. He's just tight end. I don't think he's gonna be anything that Austin Hooper was, but I think he'll be enough of something to get you that tight end 10-ish,
Yeah.
tight end 9-ish, and for a buck, that's not so bad. Brandon, why don't you go ahead and hit us off with your NFC West?
All right, I'm taking a shot here. I'm going Raheem Mostert. Part of the reason being
Yeah.
he's like $5 or $4,
Dude,
and
that's
he's
awesome.
really, really low. That backfield is going to be good. I'm not
Yeah.
worried about the trade demand. Like, I think he's just making some noise, and
Right.
they'll find a way to pay him next year. But somebody on that backfield is going to be good.
Yeah.
And so if you give me Tevin Coleman or the ghost of Jerick McKinnon, like, I'll take Mostert, take a shot on
Yeah.
it at a low price. He's not costing me a lot.
Yeah.
And I think he could have a really good season.
I liked your Mostert pick a lot.
Thanks.
Actually, I was like, man, that's great.
I like
Who
all my
has him?
picks.
Who has
And-
him?
Justin.
Stick it.
And like most players who break out, he's almost 30 years old. So that's
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
pick.
yeah,
Good
that's
pick.
actually
All
a
right,
good
hey.
one.
Hey,
Yeah.
do you like the Mostert pick or not?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to go wrong with that backfield at that price. If he ends up not starting, you can cut him a few weeks in, and it
Okay.
doesn't really hurt you.
Who do you got? Who's your NFC West breakout?
It's a little bit of a cheat, but I picked Tyler Higbee. And the reason I said it's a little bit of a cheat is because he broke out at the very end of last season.
Yeah, but
He
it's only
was-
a partial season, right?
Yeah, the last 5 games of the year, he was the tight end 1 by like 20 points. I
Okay.
mean, he was far and away the best producer for the last 5 games of the year. Some of that he just took advantage of injuries, but they didn't add really any wide receivers. They actually lost Brandon Cooks this year, right?
Mhm.
And so it does look like they'll probably continue to use their tight ends quite a bit. So I think both he and Everett can produce, and they paid him last year. So he's got as good a shot as anyone else out of that top 3 to be a dominant tight end this year.
So you think they're going to stick with that 2 tight end, that 12 personnel?
I think they will quite a bit of the time, yes. I mean, they don't have a very good pass-catching running back right now either like they used to, so I think there a lot of those short yardage passes that used to go to the running backs are going to go to the tight ends even more.
What do you think about that? What do you think about Higbee? You like him?
He's on my team. So
You got Higbee?
Yeah, I have Higbee. I picked him up last year. I have 3 tight ends on my team because I just started
Why
collecting
wouldn't you
tight
have?
ends because there
Maybe
was just
tight
good tight
ends.
ends on the
Why would you
waiver
have-
wire. No, I don't know. I think last year was a little bit of fool's gold at the end. Honestly,
Yeah.
I
and
don't.
What about Malcolm Brown? I mean, he's going to take that offense over.
I don't know. I'm not sold on him,
Yeah.
but we'll see.
Okay.
I hope
Ben,
he is.
I got Christian Kirk.
Higbee or Hurst?
I take Hurst.
You take Hurst?
Listen, the only reason why I take Hurst is because I think Hurst has a clear path to be the constant tight end on the field. Don't get me wrong, I don't want to spend more than $1 on either of them.
No.
I'd rather stream, right, and,
Yeah.
and do that game, which is not fun either. But
Pick up
I
Mark
think
Andrews off of the waiver wire like I did.
yeah, you
and
pick
just-
up the Mark Andrews of the world. There's
Yeah.
always somebody out there.
Yeah.
Darren Waller was a week 1 waiver pickup. There's always somebody out there. I don't want either, but I do think that Hurst is like the tight end in Atlanta. I don't think he's gonna have a great season, but it is what it is. I'm taking Christian Kirk in Arizona. What do you got?
Wait, sorry.
No, you're good.
I got Hurst in that. Just I think.
Oh, you
I
got
think,
Hurst.
Yeah. I think Ryan targets the tight end a ton,
Yeah.
and he's going to continue to. He
Yeah.
likes that dump off to the tight end, and I think he'll continue to. And Hayden Hurst is a first round talent, so there's talent
It's
there.
fast.
And yeah, they just
Big.
take a little bit to break out. So I got
The
Hurst.
only thing that hurts is there's Julio and there's Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley's gonna catch I think they say 200 balls.
But they have the most vacated targets.
Yeah, they do.
It just, so
that's
it's-
so beautiful.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's great. That's great. Let's go. NFC North. And since that's your
Hey,
word,
wait, Christian Kirk. You said?
Christian Kirk.
Christian
you guys
Kirk.
like Christian
No,
Kirk? You guys
do,
like him?
do you think Hopkins hurts him at all or helps him?
I honestly think Hop helps them in the first year, and this is the only reason why. It's because I am a firm believer in these new players going to new places and new coaches coming in. I'm a firm believer that the fact that the preseason will be limited and training camp
Right.
will be limited is going to hurt some of these players.
Yeah.
Nuke's going to be fine, and he'll catch on really hardcore a quarter of the way in the season, halfway into the season. He's
Yeah.
new, dude. You just throw him the ball. But Christian Kirk for the first time in Cliff Kingsbury kind of fast hitting offense, facing cornerback 2, maybe
Yeah.
even a nickel. Dude, that dude is quick.
Yep. LA.
I like it.
Let's go to NFC North, and that's your division because
Oh.
that's where your team, the Detroit.
I touched your chest.
Can I just tell you something truthful?
Yes.
I love you, but dude, I have always been so depressed that on Thanksgiving Detroit is like the other team than the Cowboys. But that's neither here nor there.
Now, to be fair, it was always the Lions, and the Cowboys were jealous.
America's team.
The Cowboys were jealous that the Lions had Thanksgiving.
Because it's America's team.
and so they
on
jumped
America's
up.
holiday.
Yeah.
America's
Yeah.
team on America's
Thanksgiving's
holiday.
the best holiday ever.
Oh, it's
It's
the best.
completely separate,
It's
but
the
I
best.
love it.
But go ahead, kick us off. NFC
So
North. What do you
I'm
got?
going with Kerryon Johnson, and here's what. No, just kidding.
I was like,
I
what?
was like, awesome.
Yeah.
David Montgomery. For
Yeah.
a couple reasons. One, for under $10, he's one of the only for sure starting running backs
Yeah.
with no competition for the starting job. So
Dig it.
that in and of itself is worth the investment in it. He's also probably going to have 250 plus touches, almost guaranteed again this
Okay.
year. The offense can't get worse.
Are you
than
sure
last
about
year
that?
Either. Yes.
Is Trubisky coming back?
He's coming back, but I don't think he's starting.
That's the hope, right?
So
But Foles, man, that's such a massive.
the offense isn't going to be
What's his
great.
collarbone again?
He's not. He's not.
The offense isn't going to be great. A-Rob obviously was a fluke last season. Lack of talent. That's why you got rid of him.
Yeah, absolutely. And
And-
I got Kamara.
Right.
Kamara.
But all that to be said, I
Yeah.
do think there's going to be the offense is going to be better this year. I do
Okay.
think that quarterback play either way will improve. There'll be more scoring chances, and he's just going to get a bunch of volume.
Mhm.
And he was hyped for being very talented coming into the season last year. I think he still has that talent.
Mhm.
Offensive line is a little up in the air, but
Mhm.
I think he could really deliver on value at his current cost.
He's on Barry's team.
He's on Bears. What do you think about Montgomery?
I mean, the opportunity is going to be there.
Yeah.
Right? You'll know after this season whether he's good or not.
Yeah.
Right.
So if he's good, you got him at a good price right now because
Great
next
price,
season
yeah.
he's either going to be $30 or $40,
Mhm.
or he's going to be.
Yeah.
They're going to be looking to replace him with somebody else, right?
Yeah.
So-
You agree he's going to have the opportunity?
Oh, he's definitely going to have an opportunity. He's going to get the ball a ton.
What do you think about
They're
his
not very
talent?
good at quarterback. They got to run the ball.
They have to.
Yep.
They have to.
Yeah.
What do you think about his talent?
He's fine.
Yeah.
He's
Okay.
not great.
Okay.
Not great laterally. I mean,
It's a good breakout, though.
yeah.
At the
Yeah.
cost, it's a good breakout. I think we would all probably like it.
I think it was the easiest pick of the division.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
without
like
a
it.
doubt.
I like this pick. I think it's a good pick.
What about you? What do you got going on in the NFC North?
Yeah. So I've got Allen, Lazard, the Lizard.
King?
No, he's not the
The
Lizard.
Lazard King.
The Lazard
Lazard
King.
King.
The Lazard
Uh,
King.
no, I've got him. Part of the reason is I think those they have to go somewhere. They need a wide receiver number 2. I think he's just naturally going to step into it. Aaron Rodgers likes him for some reason, and Aaron Rodgers doesn't like anybody. So,
Yeah.
like,
He
not even
likes
his
him
own
a
family.
lot, dude.
He
likes
does.
him
He
a lot.
does. So he must work hard. He must work hard in the background. And I know that's all like narrative and talking about it, but the reality is that somebody's got to catch balls there. And Devontae, with his injury history, the
Mhm.
fact that he's had one great season.
We have some interesting.
He's
Devontae
about to have
Nuggets.
the best wide
Well,
receiver
And
season
then
ever.
we'll hold off on the Devontae
Yeah.
Nuggets for
Yeah.
when we get
Just-
to this guy's team.
I'm just saying there's an opportunity that's there.
Yeah.
He could easily seize it, and I think he can move forward. I think he's a talented dude. Couple bucks, throw it your way. I think he could break out.
What do you think about Lazard?
The opportunity is there.
Yeah.
I have a hard time being positive about any Green Bay Packer. So
Yeah,
it's like,
this is
I'll-
tough for you.
I'll just.
I thought I turned that off.
But
Ben cannot figure out how to turn his screensaver
I'm
off. In case you're wondering why he keeps reaching over.
Yeah, it's
But
not-
I think he has the opportunity to score 7-8 touchdowns.
Okay.
Okay.
There. And that in and of
That's
itself,
big, man.
even if
8 touchdowns would be big.
yes, I think they had way too many rushing touchdowns last year for the opportunity. I think Aaron Jones was a little bit of an anomaly. This
think he
year
was a little low.
there'll be a lot more passing touchdowns
No.
to go around this year, I think, and I think Lazard will get.
I think Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
is going to check out of run to pass the ball as many times as he possibly can.
To
and
stick
just,
it to?
Yeah,
Stick it
just
to LaFleur?
screw you, LaFleur.
I think he'll just pass it to Aaron Jones.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But there's going to be a lot of pass
Yeah.
attempts, I think, this year.
Yeah.
I think he's ready to show he's
Lazard.
an elite
As a
quarterback.
Big 12 fan, I liked Lazard in college. I thought he was really big. I mean, he can get the ball. He's a big guy, right? He's a big guy.
Yeah.
So the mine is T.J. Hawkinson.
You just love tight ends.
Well, listen,
you
listen.
got 2 tight ends on your list. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It's stupid, but here's the thing. Hawkinson, I thought, was like going to be good last year. It's hard for tight ends to be good in their first year, in
Yeah.
their first 2 years. And it kind of looked like he was going to be, and then he wasn't. You know?
yes.
And then, yeah, I thought there was going to be more. And
that
then he
was
wasn't.
it. And that looked
trying
important
I-
because he's a
I
liar.
agree.
He's a
So
liar.
no. Give us your analysis. You
I
study
think-
him more than us.
I think he's a year away from breaking out.
1 year away. Okay, yeah.
One of which last year he was trying to catch passes from David Blau for most of the season.
He's
Is
good.
there anything wrong with that?
Blau is good.
But he dropped like 4 touchdown passes
Yeah.
throughout the year.
So
4
he's
that were
not
in and out of
good.
his. But that to be said,
So he's the opposite of good. Is
But-
that, wait, let me ask this. Is that an important part of being a tight end?
Is to catch the ball?
Is to catch the ball?
It's
but
weird.
that's part of why I think next year, I think he's going to have to redevelop some of that trust with Stafford this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that he will,
Yeah.
and that he will be, his breakout will be next year.
What do
I'm
you,
out
what do you
on
think
him.
about my Hawkinson?
I'm out on him.
You don't like him? I didn't
Not
like
this
it.
year.
I didn't like it either.
He is going to
Just be
be,
honest.
the MVP is
I'm
going to be
being
throwing him the
totally
ball
honest.
this
Yeah.
year, though, so that does help.
That's true. The MVP
Yeah.
will be throwing the ball. Here's the thing. When I looked at the NFC North, I didn't like anybody. Just to be honest, as a breakout candidate, I just wasn't high on any of them, right? Because I don't think there's tremendously great offenses in that division. That's just me.
Alexander Madison, that's going to be your breakout this year because
dude.
Cook's going to sit out.
Dude, if
and
he
then
doesn't-
Madison's going to show,
if he
hey, I
doesn't-
can carry the whole load.
Who has Madison?
I don't know.
I hope Cook looks like he's gonna come back and you drop Madison,
Oh.
and then Cook says like, "No, I'm not playing."
Oh
Right?
my God.
That'll be so great. All right, NFC
Break
East.
my
Brandon, kick us off. You're a Cowboys fan. Kick us off with the NFC East.
Yeah, obviously I have CD Lamb.
You break the rule that
Yeah.
you made.
No, I don't
You
have
made the
CeeDee
rookie
Lamb, but CeeDee
rule. and
Lamb's
he
going to
breaks
be
it.
an amazing wide receiver.
He's dude.
He's going to be
CeeDee Lamb
amazing.
will be the third best receiver on the Cowboys, which is still good enough to be the third best receiver in the NFL.
No, I like this guy a lot, even though he's on a team that I don't like. Anytime you choose anybody in the NFC East that's not a Cowboy, you don't like the team as much. But Evan Ingram, like I know in
Super
tight end
talented.
as well, we've got a lot of tight ends, but that guy is so talented. It's been injuries that have gotten in the way. I think
Mhm.
this is the year we finally puts it together. He's healthy, I think.
Ish.
And he's a phenomenal talent, and there's not a lot of
Yeah.
great receivers on that
Yeah.
thing and on that team. And Danny Dimes is going to throw the ball. I mean, we know he's not afraid to throw the ball. So
That's true.
I think Evan Ingram's going to have a big season.
Jordan, put right now in the comments what you think about Brandon's take on Evan Ingram.
And
just be
that's for
interested.
you, Jordan.
That's just for you. What do you think about Evan?
I had the exact same opinion last year,
Yeah.
which is why I made that.
Oh, I remember you made a trade.
Yes.
That was
yes.
one of your mini trades.
And,
Yeah, I
he,
remember
and
that.
he was awesome like 3 times.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
the
He's
beginning, right?
very talented.
He
Yeah.
is. And I'm just not willing to make that same bet again. But I fully agree with what Brandon says, that if he is healthy, he will be a great tight end.
And Garrett loves the tight end. He loves having a good tight end that can catch.
Garrett's the best. Garrett's the best.
He's-
He's not predictable. He's a wild card. You just don't know what play he's going to
I
run.
mean, we know
Always-
Saquon's going to get the ball a lot, and Evan Ingram's going to get the ball a
That's
lot.
probably pretty
As
true.
long as he stays healthy.
That's-
So
that's
that's what
pretty
I'm
true.
counting on. I'm counting on Jason Garrett to be true to who he is.
Yeah, that's a good bet. He'll clap a lot. Hey, what do you got going on? Who's your breakout?
So for some similar reasons to what Brandon said, I actually went with Golden Tate.
So staying with the Giants.
Staying with the Giants.
The 45
Jordan's
year
got to be
old
excited
Golden
right
Tate.
now.
Yeah.
How
Hard-
old is he? He's like 40.
He's like 31.
Oh, man,
Which is-
dude. Do you remember?
Is he
when
really 31?
Yes.
Did you just make that up, or did you look it up?
No, I remember last year I follow him on Twitter.
Fact check.
Okay.
You follow him on Twitter?
I follow him on
He
Twitter.
was-
Oh,
he
he
was a
was,
Lion.
he was a Lion.
He was a
duh.
Lion.
Yes,
I'm
man.
like, why are you so into Golden Tate?
He was great as a Lion.
But I remember all of his 30th birthday things going up last year. It might have been 2 years ago. 31 or 32. But that being said, when he missed the first 4 games last season, and then he had 1 game back where he hadn't been to like any practices. So if you throw out the first 5 games of the year
Yeah.
to when he was fully back, he was the number 23 wide receiver on the season. For overall,
That's some good digging right there, Bork.
thank you.
Bork came ready.
But
Bork
two
did come ready,
What-
man.
and
Doing?
in
Where's
that,
that written down?
his 2 worst games, he missed 1 game in there because
Okay.
he was injured for a game, and his 2 worst games were were the games that Danny Dimes was out. He had
Okay.
Eli Manning, the corpse of Eli Manning throwing him the ball. So if you look at just the games that he was with Danny Dimes, he was a top 20 wide receiver last year.
Man.
That being said, Evan Ingram was hurt during a lot of that.
Yeah.
So I do think that they will receive a lot of the similar types of targets.
Yeah.
And so if Ingram really is healthy, I think some of that production could drop. But he didn't have very many touchdowns last year. I think Danny Dimes is only going to get better this year, so I think there'll be more touchdowns. The defense is horrible, so they're going to have to be throwing the ball a whole lot. And I think that
I agree
Tate
with that.
finds a way to be a safety blanket for his receivers and does a lot for his quarterbacks and does a lot with the ball afterwards.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
some
think
good
he could.
analysis.
I think he could be a very solid wide receiver too.
I like that pick.
You
I mean,
like
I like no, I liked it when I saw it. I think you did a good job with all your picks, except for Higby. I don't know about that one. The rest of them are good though. But no, that's
Yeah.
a great pick, great analysis. They're going to throw the ball. They got to
Somebody's
throw the
gotta
ball to
catch it.
somebody.
Somebody's catching it.
Golden Tate is a professional receiver, even though he's
Yeah.
45 years old. Like he's a professional receiver. I mean,
If he stays
isn't it-
healthy, he's good, right?
He's,
I like
he's
Darius
gonna
Slay,
be
though.
good.
I like Slay a lot.
Yeah.
He's explosive, right? But we'll see. I mean, I think that
He's just not gonna be
you know,
consistent. This dude's gonna be consistent.
Nah.
I think
Yeah.
if
You
you
mean
if you have
Slayton?
flex 2
Slayton.
spot,
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
yeah, I knew what he meant. If you have a flex 2 spot and you've got Golden Tate going in every single week, I think you're gonna feel pretty confident because I think he's gonna at least catch 5 balls for 40 yards every single week. So he's gonna put points in that slot, which is good. He may not be boom or bust. I don't think he's gonna have any 152 touchdown games, but I think he's gonna be super consistent, which is what you need in some of those spots.
Yeah. Good breakout. Mine is Boston Scott, and that has to do with that I am not a super firm believer that Miles Sanders. I think he will be the RB, like sole RB. I just don't think he's going to hold up.
Well, when are you gonna put Boston Scott in your lineup
gonna
and
have
feel good about it?
Every day.
Okay,
Every
all right.
day.
Because I'm just saying, like I think he'll have 2 good games, and everybody will get excited about him. But then
Yeah.
all the other ones, it's like he's 5'6", 160 pounds.
Wow, that's a sizist.
Yeah,
He's a
in the NFL,
sizist,
you can't be a
everybody.
sizist,
He's a
'cause
sizist,
There's a
everybody.
reason I don't play professional football. It's not
I
talent.
thought it was you just chose career-wise.
No,
It's a
yeah,
different
no.
path
It's
for
size.
yourself.
It's not talent.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like both of your picks more in the NFC East than mine. I just wanted to come up with somebody that was
I
a little bit
actually
different,
like-
and
I like Boston Scott.
yeah. I think he's going to get some play. I don't know what he's going to get play in.
I think Gallup will be good this year.
Gallup's
This is my
Gallup
homer
is going to
talking,
be
I
a
think
monster.
I think 900 yards and 80 catches.
80,
think-
90? 80 and 900?
I
Yeah.
almost
Pretty good.
went with Gallup.
I
So
like
agree.
Gallup a lot. He's on my team. I had Gallup last year. I traded some chump for him, and I got him. So, he's a great receiver. He really is.
Yeah, I think he'll have 80, 90, or 80, 90, 100, 80, 900, and I don't
Mhm.
know, 4 or 5 touchdowns.
I think this is the peak of our totally relevant topic of the week that we've had so far, 3 in, and we have a guest star coming next week. There's no way that he'll bring anything that Bork did.
No,
You know,
no.
Certainly not
It'll
Wolves.
go- It'll go down a
Certainly.
lot.
It'll go down. He'll bring a lot of charisma, right? Because that's what this guy is. He just exudes charisma, but he'll bring interesting opinions and takes. Unless he just listens to the fantasy footballers right before he pulls up and then gets
Just
out.
regurgitates
Yes,
everything. He's like,
yes.
"This is a podcast.
I do blame Jason Moore from the Footballers for part of me making that trade for Carry On last year. He had me
Yeah.
hyped up.
Yeah.
for Carry On.
Yeah.
I
And
think
that
we
was-
were all on carry on last year going in. No, you were not.
No.
No.
Most of my
I
life-
was kind of on him for sure.
No.
Most of my life has taught me not to bet on the Lions.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
didn't follow my own advice.
What about Megatron though? He was great.
He was.
Yes.
He was. Can
Kenny
we get
G.
him?
Kenny G.
Kenny G.
Kenny G. Hey, somebody on this show, they had Kenny G. And this was going into last year, right? And then they dropped Kenny G.
For Damian Williams. That's a good pick.
Damian
That was
Williams.
a good pick.
All right. Well, it was great having you on board.
Yes, thanks for
Final
having
last
me.
words for the rest of the league to yourself. It's just you and Jordan and
Or
us
you can make
watching
fun
it.
of us.
Well,
whatever.
here's the
Parting
thing.
shots. Parting shots.
Before I got here,
Yeah.
I ran all of your team's analysis through my own
Algorithm?
my own
Your
proprietary algorithm,
Yeah.
This is great.
and it said that you are all bad. I mean,
Is that what it said? It just says bad? It just says bad right now.
Analysis bad.
yeah. So it shades from green to red,
Yeah.
good to bad,
Yeah.
and there was one moderately dark orange. Everyone else was
Who's
fully
the
red.
moderately dark orange?
It was Jordan.
Jordan.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So
Shout out to him.
he seduced you. Is what you're telling us. He is seduced.
No,
Been there.
My algorithm really likes players that are bisexual.
Well, much like
That's weird
owners
you
that
can
are
code that
pronouns.
in. I like it. I like it.
It's proprietary.
Oh, it is. It's man. It's
On
next
that
level.
note, we'll
Yeah.
see you later. Thanks, Bort.
All
Great
right,
having you
thank you all for
board.
having
Hey,
me.
let's Jason Garrett clap him on the way out. Now we're gonna scoot up.
All right, now we
Oh
can
man.
really get the
Hey,
show
that
going
was
here.
that was really Bork. That was awesome. Hey, thanks a lot, man. That makes me feel sad that like Bork came in with all that like awesome commentary and research, and we don't do that.
Well, we see how it's working out for his team now.
That's true. That's true.
wait till
Let's
wait till we get to his team.
let's
I'm
get to our team
anxiously
breakdown.
Awaiting that. All right, our owner for this week is Jordan Riddell. Bort's trying to
Jay
get out the-
Riddy.
Yeah, Jay Riddy's trying to
Here
get
you
out.
go.
Oh, bye, Bort. See you later.
Oh, Jay Riddy. Hey, put in the comment right
Yeah.
now.
Okay, so here, let me give you our owner bio for this week. Jordan is the most attractive man in our league. That goes without saying.
You don't think
right?
Bork?
No, it's definitely Jordan for sure.
What about Ryan?
No, Ryan's an ogre.
What about Jeremy?
No.
What about
no.
me?
No,
Okay,
no, it's
fine.
Jordan. It's
Jordan.
by far Jordan. Look at
Jordan.
the long. Hanson has it. He can challenge him. But
That's
not-
it. That's it. It's
Yeah.
between those two.
It's
Okay.
between those two. Some of his talents include massaging and oiling people up.
Oh, there you go.
Hey, check out Phil Hauer, Feel the Power. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
man.
It's where he gets all his products, and he's the best at it.
Yeah, I think he uses Barry's balls too.
Yeah. He uses all of these. These
Oh.
actually came from him. Bad at fantasy. That goes without saying.
That's
He's
true.
the keeper of all stats.
He's the keeper.
All stats. He is the best at arguing. We know that without a doubt. And he is also the hardest, most difficult person in our league to trade with. Unless you're giving him a top 10 running back
Two.
and a top 10 wide
Yeah,
receiver.
Two top
And-
10 at their position players.
Yeah, yeah. No, and then he's somehow
Yeah, you gotta
willing to do
overpay.
it.
You gotta overpay if you're gonna roll with
Yeah.
him.
And the guy has to have bad knees, too.
Nah,
That you're,
I don't have
that you're-
anybody
that
that
he's
has
trading
bad knees
away.
on my team.
Yeah, you do. And also a former pro wrestler. So he's got a wide array of things that he's good
I
at.
think his wrestling name was Machismo, Mr. Machismo, Mr. Machismo. Hey,
Get out there and oil himself
get out
up
there. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then go after it.
I got two questions for you about Jordan.
Okay. Oh, man.
What is Jordan getting a PhD in? What is Jordan getting a PhD in?
This is maybe the most terrifying thing of all time.
Let's hear
Is
it.
that he's getting a PhD in criminology. I'm
Yeah.
fairly certain.
He
And that
is.
means that if he wanted to murder any of us and cover it up and no one ever find out,
Mm.
he could.
Did you ever see that show Dexter?
Yeah.
It's like the serial killer
No,
that
but I
is
mean, I know what
like,
you're talking about.
you know what I'm talking about? That's
Yeah,
that's
I know
kind of
what
like Jordan. It's
It's
crazy
terrifying.
to think that he's a PhD.
Yeah.
Like his brain is big. Here's the second.
I'm always
question.
trying to stay on Jordan's good side.
You should, as you should.
You're my friend. I love you.
Here's the second
Don't
question
murder
I
me
got
and
for
hide
you.
my body.
This is what's so great. So a lot of you guys might not know this, but this is true. Jordan has had an idea for a TV show for a long time. What is the setting of this TV show, and what is it about?
I cannot remember for the life of me, but you can. So go ahead. Take it away.
Yeah. So Jordan's TV show idea, and I'm not going to give the details the way he gives the details. I'm just going to give the general of it, so we can get to the rest of the show. But it takes place in a sheriff's office, and it's a father and son show, and I'm fairly certain it's about incest. It is about, and
I
one
can't believe
day,
this hasn't been picked up yet.
dude, you should talk to him about it
Yeah,
sometime. He's
yeah.
got it all
Go talk to the
planned
Game of
out.
Thrones people, then you'll be good.
Oh, that's true. He was ahead of his time because Jordan was talking about this way before
Incest
Game of
became
Thrones
cool.
was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. Okay, go ahead and kick us off.
All right, where did he finish in 2019? Jordan was 5-9. So remember, these are bad teams because we're starting at the bottom and we're moving up. 5-9. He had the lowest scoring team out of anyone. So
That's painful.
by a lot. I think it was like 60, 80 points, something like that. Like he had the lowest scoring team. He had 9 games where he was below 115 points.
That's bad.
And 4 of them were below 100. So didn't break triple digits.
Oh, that's painful. Especially like if you look at our league, really, if you score 120, you might win. Maybe. Like 120 is not high in our league, right?
But
you gotta get there.
9 of those games he did not.
Below
So
115. That's hard.
Yeah.
It's almost like he did it intentionally. It's almost like he wanted to be bad at fantasy football.
yeah, you don't get a higher draft pick because of that, just so you know. All right, so what went right for him?
Okay, this is what I got. What went right is Miles Sanders. Now, he paid a lot for Miles Sanders. I mean, he paid a lot for Miles Sanders. But you're going to have to pay a lot for a premium player.
Yeah.
And I think
who has a line to start
He's got a
immediately. It's
line
not a
to
Swift
start.
situation. It's not any of those like our rookies this year.
Yeah.
It's like there's a clear line. You're going to start. There's no
he
being
is.
coming.
It shows the future is his, and especially under a great offensive-minded head coach. And this is a keeper league, so you are going to have to pay up a lot to get your hands on a player that's worth keeping. And I think he did that with Miles Sanders. My only question with Miles Sanders has nothing to do with talent or even opportunity. It's durability. That's the only thing I question.
Yep. He's going to get the ball, though, so he'll get a chance. I got a couple things. One was he scored 180 points one week, so that was the highlight of his entire year. So
That's big.
He had the lowest score,
Yeah.
and yet he scored 180 one week, so he really had some bad weeks.
Man, 180 is massive.
It's a good
right?
amount. It's a good amount. It's not 215 like Jeremy did one.
So that's
one
the
game last
scary
year.
thing is to know that in our league, there's people that float around in that ceiling of the 200s.
Yeah.
Right?
That was not me last year.
No,
Not
me neither.
I was like, I hit 150
Me
once.
neither,
Like,
man.
yeah.
200 is a huge ceiling.
Yeah, 180 is good. And also the draft. Jordan did a great job in the draft last year.
Mhm.
He got Tyler Lockett, he got Boyd, and he drafted Miles Sanders. He had to pay a little bit more for that, but he had some money going in, and he did a good job with the money that he has. So I think he's going to have better keepers this year than what he had last year, unless, of course, he keeps 2 quarterbacks again, which we'll get to that in a second. All right, keep going.
Yeah,
Keep going.
no. Transitions. Let's transition right there. So what went wrong? Because I think we both agree that he had actually a good draft. Jordan's had actually a couple good drafts back to back.
Yeah,
right.
he has.
We both like Miles Sanders. But what went wrong? Because if you are the lowest scoring team in the league, the lowest scoring by a lot, like he was, the worst team, then something goes wrong.
Yeah, he just doesn't have consistency with his players. So you think about Kamara last year, he was running back 10. He obviously counted on him to be higher than that.
Yeah.
And he had some great weeks, Kamara did, and then he had some really poor weeks, and he had some different things that were going on with that. But kind of all of his players, OBJ was wide receiver 25. He was counting on him to be a top 10 wide receiver again. And so the things that he counted on didn't have happen. But also, if you look at his players, like Tyler Lockett's a big boomer bust player. Like he's got a lot of those. He doesn't have a whole lot of like consistent players. And so week to week, you just never know what you're going to get from those guys. And so, you know, I mean, Allen Robinson to me, more consistent. Jacobs more consistent. So he did a good job. We'll get to more of that more in a second. But I think he didn't have consistent players.
Yeah, not a lot of consistency. And I think that's because we both talked about this as we were looking at his team. He kept 2 quarterbacks. Two quarterbacks in a one.
And one was Baker
quarterback league.
Mayfield, who was awful last year.
So he kept a bust quarterback.
Yes.
On top of keeping another good quarterback.
Yeah.
You don't need 2 quarterbacks in our league. I mean, I hope some of you guys keep 2 quarterbacks.
Please
but
do.
you don't need them. You don't
Please
need them.
do. We're a 2 quarterback league, though, right? We start 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah. You can carry 2 quarterbacks on your team.
Yeah.
You can only start 1. And then he also kept Geis. So if you look at Baker and Geis together, that's essentially keeping 4 players instead of your full allotment of 6.
That's 2 players that bring you nothing, and so you just can't have. That's a lot. You can have 1. I mean, you can have OJ Howard and them not do good.
Why are you mentioning OJ? Why are you mentioning OJ? OJ,
because you kept OJ Howard.
Gosh. Look, OJ
and a
was
defense,
the least
and a
of my
defense.
problems.
So if you're wondering why yours wasn't very good, let's go back and defense and.
Hey,
and
I
OJ
know
Howard.
all
So you were
about
down to 4
bad
as well.
keeps.
Yeah.
And I also know about bad trades.
Yeah, well, I kept
bad
Damian
trades
Williams.
let me
We
to
already said
last
that.
year.
So thank you, Damian.
Okay, so who do you think his top player was?
His top player last year was obviously Butker. I mean, the number 1 kicker.
As he calls him, butt kicker. Isn't that what he calls him?
Yeah, he does. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, that was obviously a good player, but Ingram, I think you keep him at $8, and then he's RB11.
Awesome.
That is a really good deal. So he's outperforming what you paid for him, and that's what you need, right? To win, you got to have players that are outperforming. So I mean, Ingram might have been his most consistent player last year,
think
just
he
not
was,
not
yeah.
up and down, not all over the place. You knew
Yeah.
kind of what you were going to get.
Yeah, he just didn't have a big ceiling, unfortunately. I think he had a fairly safe floor. I mean, and Mark Ingram's a great player in real life. I put his top player. I agree with you, by the way, but I wanted to bring in another top player, and so I put Watson because he was quarterback number 5 at $6.
Only 5? I think it was like
Yeah.
3.
He's just really super inconsistent when you look at his numbers. He has big games, and then he has games. It's probably why Jordan was so inconsistent in scoring, right?
Yeah.
Because Watson
Well-
sometimes would put up 40, and then he'd come back with kind of like Cam,
Yeah.
right? Like Cam in his heyday, he'd have like really big games and then really low games. But the reason why I put him as a top player, even though he's $6 for a quarterback 5, is because people are paying mad money for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
now. I
That's
mean,
crazy.
mad
That's
money for
crazy.
quarterbacks.
Yeah,
right?
well, and you know, you look at his line. Line is bad. Receivers are hurt all over the place, other than Hopkins. So it's a good thing he has Hopkins constantly.
yeah,
Yeah.
without a doubt. What do you got as his bus player?
Bus player, I've got OBJ, wide receiver number 25 at $39. So he spent $39 on this guy, and he got wide receiver 25.
Man, I saw you put that there, and I was all like, dude, it is OBJ. It is OBJ.
Without a doubt.
Right. And so one of the new things that we want to do is we want to do like deeper dives on some like one player per team. We didn't do it for the earlier ones. We don't need to. But we did ours on OBJ. We
Yep.
did an OBJ deep dive. So I'm going to ask you a little kind of did you know?
Okay. All right, great.
Okay. When was the last time you think OBJ was elite? When was the last time OBJ put up an elite season?
I'm going to say 2017. That's just my guess. It feels like it's been a really long time.
It's really close. 2016, dude. 2016, dude.
What year is it? It's 2020.
It's 2020,
Oh my
2016.
gosh.
That was the last time he was elite. I'm not saying that's the last time he did something, right? But that's the last time he was elite. When you
What do you
think
mean by
OBJ,
elite?
I'm talking like a WR1,
Okay.
right?
WR1.
And
All right.
really even more than that, if you think about it, at one time OBJ was the number 1 ranked player in keepers. Like if you looked
Yeah.
at Dynasty,
Yeah.
OBJ was the number 1 player. People expected him to be the next Randy Moss. I mean, he wasn't just a WR1. He was elite.
He's a uber talented, for sure.
He was
Okay.
the Michael Thomas.
Do you have
Pre-Michael
another
Thomas.
question?
Yeah, I do. Okay. How many, in 6 seasons, how many times has OBJ played all 16 games? In 6 seasons, how many times has OBJ
I'm going to
played
say
all?
0. Is it
Twice.
0? He's
Only
oh, he
twice.
has twice. Okay, well,
Twice.
that's more than what I thought.
Twice.
I just assumed he missed one game at least in
Yeah.
every season.
Yeah, twice. So only 16 games
My
out of there
goodness.
twice, right? That's crazy. I got another one for you. In 6 seasons, how many times has OBJ failed to break 1,000 yards? In 6 seasons, how many times has OBJ failed to break 1,000 yards?
3.
1 time.
He's still broken 1,000 every
Yeah,
other time?
even with Cleveland. I was blown away when I looked at that.
I didn't know
I
that.
thought he was like a 700, 800 yard guy. The way
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
the kind of the way
yeah.
we think about him.
That's a-
But no, he broke 1,000.
Okay.
Here's the next one, and this was mind blowing for me. In 6 seasons, how many times has OBJ received under 120 targets? In 6 seasons, how many times has OBJ received under 120 targets?
2.
Just once. 2017. That's the year he was injured. He played 4
Wow.
games.
So last year he got over 120
Yeah.
targets? I felt like he didn't get any targets last year.
Me neither.
Okay.
Me neither. So I think the OBJ narrative, and we've talked about this with another receiver that we're going to talk about a little bit later on. I think the OBJ narrative is kind of spun out of control.
Yeah, no. He's
Right.
he's a value this year to me.
He is. Last year he
All
was
right.
definitely a bust though.
So who are they going to keep?
We
differ on this.
we do differ.
We do
on this.
differ.
We do differ. On
My
this.
team's way better. Go ahead.
Okay. Here we go. So this is who I got you keeping Team Jordan. Josh Jacobs, Allen Robinson. Both of those get the 10% off stimulus pricing. Miles Sanders, OBJ, Tyler Hot Pocket Lockett, and I got him franchise tagging Lockett so he can keep him at $9. And then I think he's going to stick with his tried and true love of Deshaun Watson, even without Hop. And he's going to bring him back, and he's going to keep him at $5. That leaves him with $64 auction cash.
Okay. All right.
What about
So,
you?
What I've got here is I've got Jacobs,
Mm-hmm.
Allen Robinson, but
Mhm.
I have him franchise tagging Allen Robinson.
So he's
Trying to
super
go
cheap.
for the money.
So stimulus with franchise tag.
Yep.
Super stack.
So $15 at that point. Sanders at 39. He's going to keep those 2 running backs at full price, I
Okay.
think. OBJ at 21. I've
Okay.
got Ingram at 5 because I do think Ingram is still going to be a top 15, top 16 back this year.
Sure. Makes
So
sense to
if Miles Sanders is healthy, if Jacobs is healthy, and if Ingram, just is Ingram, I think he's going to have 3 top 15 running backs.
Yeah.
So you just got to take that opportunity.
It's pretty
And then
cheap too.
Keeping Geis. Like he's rode this train this far. It's only $4.
Mm.
Redskins backfield is unknown, but Ron Rivera likes to run the ball.
Mhm.
He's got Norv Turner's son there who's going to be doing this. I think they're going to key in on a back, and I think maybe Geis will finally be healthy. So I'd take the shot on
Yeah.
it, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's an unhealthy love affair that
Yeah.
Jordan has going on.
Yeah, he's
with
definitely
Darius
over it.
Geis. Hey, we're rooting for Geis as a person, though.
Yeah.
I'd love to see him come back. I just personally have no belief in him being able to come
So
back.
I've got $83.
That's
coming
a
to him.
lot of
That is a
cash.
lot of cash, and I think that's going to matter to him because I think he wants to go in the draft and
Yeah.
he wants to draft more people and he wants to continue to do those things and he can get all the quarterbacks he wants in the draft. Just don't keep 2 quarterbacks.
No, you can. You can
Yeah,
keep
you
as many
can.
as you want. You
You
can
can.
keep as many as you want. Okay, so with your scenario, he's got a lot of cash. He's pretty set at the RB position. What do you think he needs to do to be competitive this year?
Not keep a QB.
Not keep a QB. That's
Also,
always big.
Sanders and Jacobs start to reach their potential. There's
Mhm.
a lot of hype around them. They're going to cost you money. Let them reach their potential.
Mhm.
Ingram to hold on just for at least one more season. If he holds on for one more season, then Jordan's going to have a good year.
How long has he had him for, man? He's had him forever.
I don't know. Bork traded him to him
Man.
a few years ago.
Yeah,
So,
he had him, and then he released him, and then he
Yeah,
traded back for him.
yeah.
I'm telling you, Jordan is a guy that forms
bonds,
love.
like
He does.
unhealthy. I'll trade
forms
anybody. I don't care
bonds,
who
man.
you are. I'll
Oh,
trade
you
you.
will, dude.
Jordan's like, I'm gonna hold on to guys.
You'll trade
forever.
your own son if the price goes up. That's right.
We're talking CMC.
I'm talking CMC. Okay, this is what I think. I think he has to have a great draft. And,
Which he's a good drafter.
He is actually. I'm not
He's
going
a
to lie.
good drafter.
The last 2 seasons, he's changed his scenario. He's a really good drafter. I think he's one of the better drafters in the league, or at least top 5 drafter.
Yep.
10 out of 10, right? This is what I think. I think he has to find one more trade that allows him to trade some of this potential
Yep.
for something that's proven.
Cool.
Now, that's always hard to do, right? We would all
Yeah.
love to say, of course, we would love to take our potential
Yes.
and get something proven, but that's just what I'm going to throw out there.
Man, it just might be time to cut bait with OBJ too. You're gonna get him at a good value this year. See if you can get something out of him because if he has another bad year, his cost is sunk. But I just think it's an unhealthy relationship. It's too boom or bust.
Yeah.
Like if you could get a solid wide receiver that you're like,
Dude.
he may not have the potential of OBJ,
Yeah.
but I can get out from underneath it and get more consistent. That might be better just because
Okay.
it's unhealthy.
You know what?
Because you have to start OBJ when he's in your lineup.
I'm with you. And I think and we talked about his floor. 1,000 yards is a good floor. 120 targets is a good floor, but I'm with you on that. So let me ask you this. You're Jordan, right? You're you,
Yep.
but you got Jordan's team. And Justin comes and he offers you Derrick Henry, but he wants Miles Sanders and OBJ. Derrick Henry, but you got to give him Miles Sanders and OBJ. What don't you like about that deal?
I don't know how much longer Derrick Henry
Yeah.
has, meaning
He's
just
doing
like
so much.
I don't know. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
he's all over the place, and you could have had him for another. I just think Miles Sanders is going to be good.
Yeah, I think so too, man.
I think they're creative. I think they're going to give him the ball. I'm not saying he's going to be an elite running back, but I
Yeah.
think he's going to be like the knockoff between him and Derrick Henry is not going to be that much.
Yeah.
And then to give up OBJ as well. I don't know about that, but I mean, I would look for a $20-something receiver, maybe a $30 receiver. See if somebody will trade with you
Try to
who's
combo
more
up.
consistent.
Yeah. Let me throw one more at you and then
Okay.
we'll move on.
Oh, yeah, I
One
like
more,
this.
One more at
It's
you.
good.
Okay, same 2 players because I think Miles Sanders would be, if I was going to trade with him again, right, I would be targeting Miles Sanders,
Yep.
right? So I'm going to say somebody's going to target him. Miles Sanders and OBJ again, and you're being offered Dalvin Cook by Jerry. Dalvin Cook from Miles Sanders and OBJ. There's risk with Dalvin.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude's played 1 season.
He has played 1 season. I don't think there's any way Jordan does that. Maybe if there's another receiver coming back, like
Yeah.
maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a Julio or something thrown in, Mike Evans. So if he throws in a Mike Evans,
Mm-hmm.
then I can see there's some risk on both sides.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what's so interesting
hard.
about it, right? Is I think like Jordan's team right now, he's got some commodities to play with.
Yeah.
The question is, what does he want out of it, or does he just sit back and just draft?
Let me ask you this:
Uh huh.
would you take Miles Sanders, OBJ for Zeke?
Would I take?
Yeah,
Like, would I give up Zeke for Miles
Yes.
and OBJ? No.
No.
No. I
But
would
that's what I'm
not.
saying though. Like
I would
Dalvin Cook,
not.
if he plays, I get there's a risk
Yeah.
with him. But if he
Yeah.
plays, him and Zeke, same level, right?
Same
like
level,
same
same
tier.
level.
Like
Sure,
you're
sure.
close enough.
Sure. Yeah.
To at
And,
least do it.
I mean, I would probably even if he can stay.
And Zeke's
if he
fatter.
can stay healthy. I would even give
Slower.
Cook a bump. Why would you say that about our
I love
boy
Zeke. I love Zeke.
I would
but
even give Cook a bump because the whole entire offense cycles through him. Where
Yeah.
right now the Cowboys are probably going to be a little bit more
they're,
balanced.
they're
right?
going to throw the ball.
They're gonna, yeah, without a doubt, without.
So you
and,
would not
and they
trade
should.
Zeke.
I wouldn't trade you, and this is the reason
What
why.
about Kamara?
Just because of my team. Just because of
Would
my
you trade Sanders and OBJ for Kamara?
No.
Okay.
No.
I just
and,
curious.
and okay, this is the reason why. Because I believe Kamara is a proven talent, right?
Yep.
Sanders, I think Sanders' ceiling is Kamara, but I've already got Kamara.
I'm just
right?
curious. Like that's a pretty good combo.
No, it is.
OBJ
It
and Miles
It
Sanders.
is.
You
It
know,
is.
they're both question marks.
Yeah.
But, okay.
I just think for my team, the way I'm constructed, probably not looking to downgrade one of my elite talents for two talents, but you never know, man. It's probably out there somewhere. We're just trying to get you guys to trade. That's all.
Please trade.
Dude,
It's so much fun. Trade.
Okay, so where do you think they're going to finish? What do you think he's going to finish? Because I think we both like Jordan's draftability.
Yeah, I could definitely see Jordan making the playoffs this year.
Me too.
100% could see him making the
But
playoffs.
he's got a big range.
He does. And so that's when you get like this, the range that you're about to hear is where I could see things breaking the right way
Mm-hmm.
and then making it in. But I've got him at 6th.
Yeah.
I've got him going 6 and 8,
Mhm.
kind of that 7 and 7
Mhm.
right in there. But I think he'll finish in 6th place. But I could see him finishing 4th.
Yeah, and that's what we talked about when we were looking at his team. We're like, man, he's got that range of anywhere from 4 through 6. And of course, we know this. It's fantasy football. Anything can happen, right?
Yep.
So I've got him 4th. I've got him at 8 and 6. I just think that Miles Sanders has a big year. I think Josh Jacobs continues to grow. I think Allen Robinson is legit. I thought he was legit last year.
Yep.
And I think OBJ comes back and has that borderline WR1, WR2 season. I think he's got all
Agree.
the makings to make a good run.
I do too. All right, we're going to get to our burning questions. I know we're going to go long, so we'll get through these quick. First of all, our sponsor for the burning questions is Bork's Bark. And so their slogan is, your dog is dumb. It's not impossible that we are smarter.
And you know what? After having him here, I would say this. It's not impossible that he's smarter.
No. And here's the highlights of what Bork's Bark does for you is that if you have a dog that is below average intelligence, as Bork's dog is, and you want them to moderately behave, not really listen, but just
Yeah,
like
that's
sort
true.
of, they're not unruly completely. They still jump on people and still talk,
Do
do all
those
those things.
things?
Then this is your place. This is the place that you want to come if you
Mm.
want an inadequate job done. Also, they help meet all of your dog's needs.
All of them. What about this? What about bloodlust? Like, what if my dog has bloodlust? Will they meet that need?
Your dog is a demon. It's
Oh,
not
man.
an actual dog.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it can't do that. But if you need grooming, shaving, anything like that, baths, they're great
Yeah.
with that kind of stuff. Training, as we talked about a little bit. You know what even they do?
What?
They'll help you name your dog.
They'll-
Name your
they'll
dog.
do
Like
that?
you're like,
They'll do
I got
that?
this puppy. What do I name it? They will help you with that. But there's a catch to it.
What is it?
Okay, the catch is that it has to be a washed up Detroit ball player.
Oh, there's
So,
so many.
If
There's
you,
so
if you want your
many.
dog to be named Miggy or Staffy or Carry On
Oh, Carry On's
or
already washed up.
Patty, who's the head coach, but he's good with that, or Swift, who will be washed up in just a few years, they will
Swifty?
help you name
Would you have
it.
to name him Swifty?
Yeah, it's all
Swifty?
got to have a Y in it, Swifty.
Oh my goodness! And what I think is really cool is I think I heard him talking about how they're going to start incorporating Barry's balls ointments also. So I don't
Works
know.
on dogs, too.
It works on dogs as well. Let's get into this. Let's get into some of our burning questions of the
Okay,
week.
go ahead.
Before we do that, can I just say this? Thank you so much, Jordan and Bork. You are the only
One.
ones.
That's it. It's just you.
That's
it's
it.
just you.
It's just you guys. And so please, people, send us some questions. Brandon and I have no problem making up questions and attaching them to your name,
Yeah.
but we prefer to hear from you guys directly.
Yep.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'll ask you first. This is
Okay.
actually a good one. This comes from none other than Borkowski, and I think you'll figure that out on your own when
Yeah.
you hear it. Would you keep A, Ronald Jones for $6 or B, Devontae Parker for $10? This is a good question.
Neither. I like good players. I actually want to win this season, so no.
Man.
I think I would go with Devontae Parker.
Mhm.
I think Fitzpatrick is going to be there for
It's
most
true.
of the season.
Fitz magic, baby.
Yeah, and he's going to just chunk the ball around a whole lot. I think they will improve as a team. I think their defense is going to get better. I think they will score more touchdowns. I don't think they're going to be a good team. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But they will get better, and I think Devontae Parker is kind of the best option there. I know Preston Williams is up and coming, but he's the best option there. I think he's going to catch a bunch of balls. I think you
Mhm.
look at the end of last season, came on really, really strong. Here's the thing for me. He's got top 10 potential because he was a top 10 receiver last year. So he's got
The
that
back
potential.
End. The back end of the
No,
season.
no, the whole season.
The whole season?
He was a top 10
He
receiver.
finished a top 10?
Yeah, at the end of the season, he finished. Now, the first half wasn't as good, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
was really, he had a top 10 season. So he has that potential.
He's got that ceiling. And remember, this is a comparative. This is Ronald Jones and Devontae Parker. So we're not saying we like either of these players. But I'm going to go ahead and take Rojo. And here's my 2 reasons for taking Rojo, right? Is because I think running backs are a premium, and I think I can much easier find a wide receiver. But again, your argument for saying he has top 10 ceiling is a really good argument. But I just think I can find somebody in that back end of the draft.
Yeah, it's going to have top 10 potential. Yeah, no, that's
possibly,
good. That's good.
Possibly,
no.
possibly.
You find those all the time in the back half of the draft.
I find him.
Yeah. Listen, did you forget that Rojo's not good at football?
No,
because
okay,
he's not good at football.
He's not
good at football.
But now he's got Tom Brady.
He's going to be an average. You said your ceiling for him was an average RB2. You're like, give me that. Yeah, let me waste $6 on this dude.
I don't think RJ.
That's a waste of money. It's a waste of money.
It is. I don't want
either.
It's a waste of money. I don't want either. I don't want either. But I take the running back.
Next question: who will be the 2020 MVP, and why is it Matthew Stafford?
It's not.
You can guess who asked that one as well. Go ahead.
It's not. It's the Dallas Cowboys. They are the 2020 MVP.
It's CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb.
Stop it.
CeeDee Lamb's great.
Let me say this. I hope
I'm
any Cowboy gets
You've seen it
right?
here. I'm fully on board for CeeDee Lamb. He's not.
Hey, CeeDee, I'm pro you. I just didn't want to draft him.
No,
I just didn't want
CeeDee.
to draft him.
I'm your biggest fan.
I had a dream.
No.
A dream about the Cowboys losing a lot because their defense was so bad.
It doesn't matter.
So bad.
We're still going to score
I
points.
got the Dallas Cowboys. No.
Right.
I'm going with Dak. I'm going with Dak Prescott.
I actually answered this, but I feel like you're going to think it's a joke.
All right, let's hear it.
Cam Newton.
That is a joke. Come on, man.
Here's the deal.
You just like his hats.
No. This is I ride or die with Cam Newton.
You
but
are, dude.
I think that dude going to this team.
Okay.
Everybody's looking for the right narrative. There's not that young quarterback. It's going to be a quarterback, right?
Always.
There's not that young quarterback coming in like Lamar Jackson where you go, okay, this person's going to take off, and they're going to be people aren't going to want to give it to Mahomes. They're not going to want to give it to Lamar Jackson. I think the best story right now is if the Patriots are good and Cam Newton is good, they win 12 games this year, he will be the MVP.
Here's the problem with that scenario. Jarrett Stidham is going to be the starting quarterback, and he's going to win 13, 14 games.
Yeah. That's
I can see that.
Tell me, that's a great story. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for the story.
If Cam bounces back and has a good season and they get the W's, absolutely he's going to be there, without a doubt. All right, let's go to question number 3.
I'll ask this one. All right. Zeke.
That's my boy.
Elliott
That's my boy.
walks into your house.
Oh, man, it's last Tuesday.
Yeah. How excited are you right now?
I'm very excited, man.
Wearing a tight pair of acid wash jeans that show off his bulge.
Oh, man.
Just a bulge. And a low cut V-neck.
Let me guess who this question comes from. Now that we're talking about
Hold on, let
Zeke's
me finish. That has you fighting to keep your eyes from his sternum. You are mesmerized and temporarily frozen in wonder because it's your boy, and we know how attracted you are at this moment. Zeke grabs your phone and yells, "I'm dropping all of your players!" I don't know if that's how he talks.
That's what he sounds like in your mind?
Yeah.
That sounds like Patrick Mahomes.
Quick, what do you do?
Why does it have to be so detailed? Like, why is it
Who asked the question?
Jordan.
You didn't even answer. I haven't answered.
I'm not answering that question.
All right, I thought about this. I studied it.
Of course you did.
I want to answer it appropriately. These are real questions that come in. All right, so what I do is I'm going to fake offer him drugs. But, hey, Zeke, you want some of this bong right here? Okay, so then what's going to happen is he's going to lose his focus at that moment. I'm going to take the phone and run. Now, what you're thinking is this is a professional running back. Why would you run from him? Okay, so
he's
I'm
going to
run
down
in a straight line as fast as I possibly can. And here's the thing, is that all I need to do is get like 15 yards away from him.
Why?
Because he's going to get tired. That cardio is like, oh!
Wait a minute.
So I've got to get a few seconds because he's thinking about the bong, and he's like, where's the bong at? And so I've got a little bit. I get 15 yards. He's going to get tired, and then he's going to decide to do something else because he's going to lose focus on it because he can't stay that focused on anything for very long.
This guy. Are you a secret Texans fan? Are you a secret Texans fan? Why would you give Ryan all of that content right there?
I just know what Zeke is.
That's the worst.
I'll
tell you what Zeke is.
He's going to be
Zeke
just fine.
is the best running back in the NFL. That's who Zeke is. And yeah, he can't help it if he's got a perfectly chiseled sternum.
I'm just saying.
He can't help those type of things.
Look, Zeke, you give me a 20 yards. Is that fine? Do we feel like that's enough time? Give me a 20-yard head start against you. You're not catching me.
He catches you in like 30 yards.
He doesn't catch me. He can't catch me. I guarantee you, he will not catch me.
Oh my goodness! How do we put this to the test?
Bring it, Zeke. No. You, Zeke.
Oh no! This
In
is
a
what we
field
need to do.
in summer here in Texas, 110
Oh,
degrees.
my goodness.
Brother, bring it.
Next time Jordan's in town, he'll be Zeke, right? And you got to run away.
No,
from
no.
him.
Jordan
run
could
away
probably
from
catch me. Zeke could not.
That's awful. Go to the next question. This is
All right,
awful.
It's your turn.
Oh,
now.
I get to ask this one. Okay, this is another fine question. Would you rather have to sport Minshew's mustache, which is gone by the way, but remember the stash from last year? Would you rather have to sport Minshew's stash for the rest of your life, or live 1 year with your wife having Minshew's stash?
Look at this. See this prospect right here? You see that? So here's my answer.
Can you grow a good stash in? Looks like
Look
you
at
could.
Yeah, of course I could.
Have you
Of
ever
course.
seen David try to grow a stash in?
You know he looks awful. So I would give into my inevitable future, which meaning that as a weir and as a redneck, I'm eventually going to have to own a mustache, and I just have it for the rest of my life. Let's just do it. I wouldn't do that to my wife. There's no reason. She's beautiful. Can't do that to her.
Don't do
Just
it.
forever.
Listen, I speak for all husbands everywhere. No husband wants his wife to have a mustache.
Even if it's a year. You could say a day, and I'd be
You could say
like, no,
a
I could never
day,
get that out of my mind.
Right? No husband wants his wife to have a mustache. I love Holly's beautiful face. I also don't want to see a hairy thing there. However, I have no problem with rocking a stash.
Dude, you look good.
Dude, I think I could pull it. What about the handlebar?
Let's do it.
What
Let's
about
do
the
it.
handlebar? Like right
Hey,
there?
maybe that needs to be like a bet.
Yeah, okay, hey, in the comments section,
Tell us what the bet is.
put
It's
a realistic
fantasy football. It's
put
got to
a
be fantasy
realistic
football.
fantasy football.
Yeah, it's
bet.
something about how Ben finishes versus
Yes,
how I finish, or
yes.
just how he
a
finishes
realistic
in general.
one, not a lopsided one or anything like that. A realistic
Yeah,
one.
this is good.
Yes. Put your ideas
Oh
in.
my gosh!
In
Would
the
you really
comment
do
section.
it? Would you?
Yeah.
If you
I'll
lost
do
the
it.
bet,
I'll do it.
Okay.
How long do I have to rock it for?
A month.
Oh, no problem. Easy
A month,
money.
and then you can grow it all back, but you have to keep it clean for
Easy
a month.
money.
You have
Easy
to keep
money.
it clean though.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. All right.
All right, let's do it.
What team are you excited to watch? Other than the Cowboys. Obviously, it's the Cowboys.
This is a good
That's your
question.
answer. What team are you excited to watch?
Here's the deal. Ever since I traded Kamara away, I have hated watching the Saints. In fact, I haven't wanted to watch the Saints. This is a true story. And I love the Saints. The Saints are an awesome team to watch. So I am excited to watch the New Orleans Saints again because I have my boy Kamara. So for the first time in 2 years, I get to watch who dat.
Okay. I mean, obviously, we're going to be biased towards our teams. I
Yeah.
think that's just inevitable. But close is the Giants, but then the Giants have to play the Cowboys twice, and that's just hard. So I'm going to bump them down a little bit. I'm going to say the Browns.
The Doo-Doo Browns?
I love me some Nick Chubb. He is a fantastic running back. I think they're going to
He
be
is.
better this year. I
He
think
is.
Baker takes a step forward. It can't get worse than last year.
You sure Baker's gonna
Stefanski
take a
is
step
a
forward?
better coach
Yeah, he is.
named Freddie Kitchens.
Yeah, he
And
is.
I think I'm just going to be enjoying it as I watch, like, Chubb be better than the $38 I'm going to have to spend on him. So much better than that. And all you fools are going to be like, dang, Brandon got a really good deal. And then next year he's going to be $50, and I'll probably trade him away.
We're going to be like, man, did you see how much money Brandon paid for a guy that splits time with Kareem Hunt? Oh, man.
Please. All right, well, that's it
our
for
show.
today.
That's our show. Who's next week? Who do we got next week? Do you remember which team we're doing
Yeah,
next
we got
week?
Barry.
Barry's Balls is
Yeah,
gonna be our
we know who the
team.
sponsor is next week.
Oh. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it, man. It was a good show.
Yeah, it was a great show.
Thanks, Bork.
Thanks, Bork.